What's poppin'?
It's 10:29. That means it's time for some Celebrity Dish. And today we have service industry expert, fashionista, media mogul.
Name them. Come on.
Jules McGuire. I mean, the list gets longer and longer and longer. You're that talented.
Keep adding it on
What
there.
certification did you get this week?
Ooh, working on skydiving.
Okay, all right.
I was about to say, I believe it. I was like, where?
Yes.
Jules, I just saw you at an event last night. It was a mental health event for Bashan Shaw, who comes on our station often,
event.
launching her You Are a Warrior app. But you have several things lined up this week.
Yes, it is CBC. Adams Morgan Day was just this past Sunday, but between the shift of all the patios, there's a lot. This week is very, very busy for all of us.
Hispanic Heritage Awards recently?
That was also, they just had the awards, but it's not aired till the 27th.
Okay.
But,
We got some preview
Hispanic
video
Heritage
here.
Month does start on Sunday,
Yes,
officially.
that's right.
It was a fantastic event at the Kennedy Center. So
Well,
I
it looks-
appreciate them inviting me.
It looks great. Was there any notable guests that you can mention?
John Leguizamo was, he's one of my favorite comedians. Yeah, that was pretty dope being able to meet him. I wanted to meet Carolina Herrera, but I could not even get to her to save my life.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Crowds
Would you
and
have
crowds of
passed out?
people.
A little bit?
Possibly, yes. That would have been
Well,
really
I'm
nice.
so proud of all that you're doing around the city. And you've been on our show before, but this is your first time on our Celebrity Dish segment,
It is.
correct?
Thank
Okay, well,
you.
it's fun. We get into a lot of things, so just do you. Do
All
you,
right.
For the
Jules. You
ride?
got
All I
it.
can do.
Buckle
Yeah,
up.
the
Let's do
first
it.
one, though, was some sad news, though, that we have to pass along. Many viewers, I've been hearing from you, DMing me about it. American singer, songwriter, the icon, Frankie Beverly has passed away. His family actually penned a message on Instagram this morning saying, quote, "This period for us is one of healing, and your respect for our need for solitude is appreciated as we honor the memory of our beloved Howard Stanley Beverly, better known to the world as Frankie Beverly." The entertainer recently had his final goodbye tour in the nation's capital. I was there for that, got an opportunity to meet him backstage as well. He was on tour with the iconic group Frankie Beverly of Maze, of course. I was able to attend. It was actually called I Want to Thank You Farewell Tour. It was billed as his final tour. That was in D.C. back in June. He performed some of his iconic hits, including Before I Let Go, We Are One, and Joy and Pain. The district always welcomed Frankie to the city, of course, with open arms. In fact, Donnie Simpson, a legend in his own right, gave him his literal and figurative flowers on stage. But that wrap up, that tour marked more than 5 decades in the industry that he's just blessed us, winning 7 Grammy Awards along the way. He died last night at the age of 77.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, I got a chance to witness him in person, too. I didn't get a chance to meet him, but this was many years ago, and I just remember being so thankful to be in that audience and just hearing his music. This is a man who, for years, made music that made you feel good, made you feel hopeful, and I think when we lose an artist like this, we're reminded of a better time, reminded of moments where artists used to actually make music that inspired you.
And his music is just known for community. You can't go to a wedding, a cookout, any type of, celebration. His music just brought everybody together.
I agree.
It is, I found out and I was, a little tearful.
Yeah, it was a tough one. And my thing, too, is like whenever you heard a Frankie Beverly song on, something good was happening.
Come on.
Whether it was a family gathering or, just enjoying a date, a night out. He brought that into our lives. And when I was on that tour, there were other acts that performed After 7, the group, and Keith Sweat. And one thing Keith Sweat said on stage was that, hey, listen, I never opened for anybody, but I opened for Frankie Beverly because he influenced me. You look at all the R&B singers out there, Tyrese, we were talking about him the other day, Usher, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. They pulled from Frankie Beverly. He's one of the greatest to ever do it in soul music, so he'll be sorely missed, but I'm so glad that DC had the chance to honor him. He has a day in his honor, I believe it's June 14th, that the mayor's office presented him with over the summer, so continue to fly high. We know he will.
Just incredible. And, of course, Beyonce, reinvented
Before I Let Go,
which had us all stepping again. So I assume that as we get closer to homecoming season, we're going to hear a lot of Frankie Beverly and Maze. So thank you for your service.
Well, Virginia native and Foo Fighters frontman Dave Grohl coming clean. Now, this is a story also on some social media, but it's a mess. So let's bring in producer Chris with the latest on the star admitting to some, let's just say, not so admirable behavior.
There goes my hero. All right, I got to fit in as many song references as I can. Dave Grohl, like you said, dropping a bombshell on social media yesterday that had some people wondering why he came out and admitted it the way that he did. In an Instagram post yesterday, the rock star admitted he recently welcomed a baby girl outside of his marriage. Grohl says he plans to be a loving and supportive parent to the newborn. He also wrote, quote, "I love my wife and children, and I am doing everything I can to regain their trust and earn their forgiveness." It's currently unclear who the newborn's mother is. Grohl has been married to his wife, Jordan, since 2003. Now, I will just say, like you said, a whole mess on social media. Some people pointed out he missed the easy layup. He could have started that statement by saying, "I've got another confession to make." Also a lyric from The Best of You, another one of their hit songs. Other people commented, were the questions like, was somebody about to out him? Like, how did this statement come about? Other people pointed out kind of the grammatical nature of it, where he didn't come out and say, "I cheated on my wife," or "I had an affair." He said, "I fathered, this child was born outside of my marriage." And still others kind of pointed out that, this was like a guy that has a reputation as a nice guy. There are a lot of people on social media who have parasocial relationships, if you've ever heard of that phrase, where they really admire or look up to someone. And he was one of those people for a lot of fans, guys.
Jules, what say you?
He's been in the news the past few months for saying some outlandish stuff, outside of Taylor Swift. In general, Dave Grohl has always been a nice guy. I was very shocked, very shocked. But I also started to question the why. So I do believe it's all of the above. They probably wanted to change the narrative or start to make sure they stop any negative narrative. Maybe somebody was going to out him. Family member of the mother.
The woman, other woman even.
Someone. But also the way the message was written, I don't feel he wrote that. It could have also been maybe he had to prove something to his wife. I think there's a lot of factors around it. Either way, he just knew he couldn't hide this.
Yeah.
Just him being him. But it definitely is shocked. It makes me rethink, makes me question everybody.
Yeah, I was
sure.
shocked too. There was a tease that I heard earlier when I was getting dressed, and superstar comes clean, da da da. I never would have said Dave Grohl.
Never.
So when they came back on after the break, I said, "What, really?" But I do think he was going to be outed. I think that's why he put it out there, and it sounds like he's really fighting for his life right now and his family. And if that means coming clean in a very public way, I think he's willing to do that.
Yeah, and to your point, listen, this is a human being, right? Having a very human experience. We all know somebody who has had this happen to them.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that's important is to remember that this is a child that's involved in this now, and that will have to deal with the news, will have to deal with this at some point in his life, and will have to make a decision how he wants to go about his life, or she, whoever he is fathering right now. And of course, like you said, he is fighting for his family's reputation. He's fighting for his reputation and all the work that he's done to build that dynamic that we all love. So I just wish him well, because this is a tough situation for everybody involved.
Now, one thing I'll mention, because it just came to me, we had Antoine Gay on, the son of Marvin Gaye, a few months ago. And he was born outside of the marriage, and he never was acknowledged publicly. And some decades later, he's still dealing with the pain of that. So for him to say, "I'm going to be there for that kid," that means a lot.
That's
a lot of
huge.
people, they don't have that.
It does.
So I think it gives a good perspective to what you pointed out, that, hey, there's still a child here.
That's right.
Regardless of what happened in their marriage.
And to add on to that, that probably does still go on with this nice guy.
Oh, everybody's
the image we've
capable.
always known. He knew what he did was wrong, and he took accountability for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he definitely has a reputation as a family man, to your point, and his two children, who are kind of part of his act. He has sung alongside one of his daughters. They have both deactivated their social media in the meantime during all of this. He's also gone through a rough couple years. As you know, his bandmate and best friend Taylor Hawkins passed away from a drug overdose. I think they kind of spent a lot of time together on the road So, you know, there's a lot going on in his personal life.
tough.
Like I
It's the
said.
best for everybody involved, for sure.
All right, guys, let's talk about an acting feud now that doesn't look like it's going to go away anytime soon. We're talking about one between Broadway star Patti LuPone and superstar singer and Jeff Gygax's hero, Madonna, because the Broadway legend is not holding back and throwing some shade at Madonna. Because LuPone appeared in a recent episode of Hot Ones Versus, okay? This is like a takeoff of that show, Hot Ones. She was with Aubrey Plaza. She refused to apologize for past comments she made about Madonna's acting skills. Instead, Patti LuPone not only doubled down, she had to eat like an extra spicy death wing. She said, quote, "There's just some things some people cannot do." And in Madonna's case, apparently for her, that means acting. She said one time she couldn't act her way out of a paper bag. And Madonna wasn't the only one Patti LuPone came for. Kim Kardashian also caught some strays in the process. LuPone adding, quote, like Kim bleeping Kardashian. Can we go there, for example? You know, Kim got a lot of attention because she was in a recent, what was it, a series. It was one of those American Horror Story series. She got a lot of positive feedback for her acting. However, some people, Patti LuPone included, apparently didn't think she had the chops, guys.
She was just keeping it real. I mean,
yeah.
to the
She
10th
does.
degree.
She always does.
Yeah. I mean,
We all
we've
can't
shown
be
her
good at
going off
everything.
on people in the audience of her shows. I mean, that's just on brand for Patti.
Very on brand.
And I think, too, a lot of people would agree with her. I love Madge like the rest of them, but acting
Yes.
is not her forte, and that's okay.
Let's talk about it.
That's
Never
okay.
stopped her, though.
Listen, I love Patti, and I think that she is incredible. She makes me laugh all the time. And like you said, she just said we were all were thinking. This is not her forte. That is actually Patti's forte. She is an actress. She is a singer. She knows exactly what she's doing. I don't know if she's going to come back from that Kim Kardashian slight, though. Because, you know, Kim Kardashian fans, they are really particular when you come for their
Yeah,
Kim.
but are the Kim K fans watching Broadway or any of these movies that she's
I
in?
don't
I'm not going
know.
to say
I
that they
think-
don't, but
I don't know, maybe.
I think
don't
Patti
care.
will be just fine. She's an award-winning, you know, actress.
Yeah.
She will be good.
All right. Well, Jules, thank you for joining
you.
us.